The fabulous dress known as Lady Rockingham's Mantua went on display at Kensington Palace in April 2023 for the first time after its restoration, and our researchers have uncovered an astonishing 260-year-old letter in the Wentworth Woodhouse archives. The letter from Lady Rockingham to her husband sheds light on a dress once worn at the glittering court of King George III and Queen Charlotte. The mantua was believed to have belonged to Mary, Marchioness of Rockingham, the wife of the second Marquis, Charles Watson Wentworth, who was twice Prime Minister of Britain. It had been passed down successive generations of their heirs, descending to Olive, the 8th Countess Fitzwilliam. When the dress came up for auction in 2006, it went for over £80,000. The dress was a rare survivor of the formal Georgian court dresses of the 1760s. It was an extraordinary condition for a dress that was 260 years old. The dress and petticoat had been made from a delicate orras tissue, an ivory silk richly woven in 3 different qualities of silver thread. The narrower width of the silk suggested it was made in England in imitation of the fine silks made in France. Britain was in any case at war with France, and in a burst of patriotism, the new Queen had directed her ladies to support domestic industry and wear only silk from Spitalfields, a campaign the Rockinghams would surely have supported wholeheartedly. Its ultra-wide panniers, 188 centimetres wide, were designed to display the 14 metres of silver and ivory fabric that make up the dress. It would have cost an astonishing £10,000 in today's money. This historic dress looked destined to leave these shores forever. However, a stop was put on its export and the fight was on to save the dress, described as of national significance. And the mantua was gifted to the Royal Palace's collection. Although much is now known about the dress, questions remained. Where? When was it worn? Could our research team at Wentworth Woodhouse find the answers? The palace experts had suggested it might have been worn for the wedding or coronation of George III and Queen Charlotte in 1761, when the Rockinghams had important roles to play. He knelt at the feet of the king to swear the oath of allegiance on behalf of all marquises, and presented the king with the right-hand glove embroidered with the arms of the Manor of Worksop, and she preceded the Queen's procession carrying her own coronet. But it's clear from an examination of portraits of peeresses done to mark the coronation that it is extremely unlikely that the mantua could have been worn for it. Ceremonial dress was then, as now, very tightly regulated. The Marchioness would have worn a close-fitting crimson velvet kirtle over a white or silver petticoat, with a train of no more and no less than 3.5 yards, in strict accordance with her rank. A newly discovered letter in our archives from Lady Rockingham at her London house in Grosvenor Square to her husband recuperating in Bath has given us some surprising answers.
My dress is at last determined. I think it will be mighty proper, and therefore a Spanish dress is ordered for me. Magnificent it will be, and a good deal you will have to pay for it. But 'tis right it should be so, and you may thank your friend Mr. Milbank for it, for he has insisted upon its being fine.
A startling discovery is that it may have been part of his and hers matching court outfits.
Your sisters dislike the silk you have chose of all things, and everybody will say your outfit is made of your wife's petticoat. Anne, Countess Fitzwilliam, says we must dance together since we are dressed alike. Lord Stormont says that being in your dress is quite bourgeois, but I hope you will approve of it. I shall take it monstrous if you don't, for I mean it as a compliment to you.
What Lord Rockingham thought of her idea is not recorded. If the dress was not worn at the coronation, when was it worn? Our researchers believe that the undated letter was written in spring 1762. It is possible that the dress may have been worn at the first of Queen Charlotte's formal drawing rooms after the birth of the heir, when the new Prince of Wales was displayed to the court. Perhaps, more likely, it was worn at Windsor Castle that September at the celebrations that followed the inauguration of King George as head of the Order of the Knights of the Garter. The ball was fabled.
It was the most splendid ball ever beheld in England. The king wore a cap set with jewels to a prestigious value, and his robes were looped with diamonds. The Queen's stomacher, made for this occasion, is said to be worth £500,000, a single jewel in it being valued at £10,000.
In such glittering company, Lady Rockingham and her silver mantua might even have seemed modest and restrained.